Well, for more on those assaults, we're joined from Germany by historian Michael Stuermer. He's in Berlin. Mr. Stuermer, good to speak to you today. These attacks on New Year's Eve were perhaps carried out by immigrants, but that shouldn't sour the entire batch of immigrants, and Germany should continue to have open arms.
Well, that was the so-called welcome culture pronounced by the Chancellor, and she opened doors and windows and didn't listen to any warnings. And ever since, there has been the attempt by the authorities to build a kind of Chinese wall. Refugees are good, criminals are bad. There are no refugee criminals. Now that has obviously been blown up by the events in Cologne. And Cologne, the cathedral, is of course the most visible space in the whole of the Rhineland, and it was New Year's Eve, so it was a double occupation of time and space, and it was a mix of organized crime, innocent bystanders, victims, and obviously some hidden hands, as the Minister of the Interior indicated.
Well, Mr. Stuermer, the use of the word occupation...
That, of course, is a...
Mr. Stuermer, the use of the word occupation is
a symbolic occupation, of course, not a military occupation, but an occupation of time and space.
But the numbers of refugees
the nature of any demonstration. Pardon?
Mr. Stuermer, the number of refugees who may or may not have carried out these crimes is minuscule to the amount of law-abiding refugees who have been welcomed into Germany.
That is right, but if there is one rotten apple in a basket, you have to wait for a while, and there are more. And that is the problem here. You have
no
a
evidence that
defining
there are more
moment for most of the Germans. Most of the Germans think that that refugees must be helped. Of course. But now it's too many, too soon, and obviously there are 300,000 not accounted for. Nobody has an idea where they are. Don't think that this would go well in Turkey, nor does it go well in this country.
Mr. Mr. Stuermer, if you look at the German economy, though, surely the economy needs a boost from young, willing-to-work people. This is good for the German economy.
Well, the German economy, of course, is a high-tech economy, and it needs people with very good education, with the working mentality. And whether these refugees are ready to jump into that production process at once, I have my doubts. Everybody has some doubts. So far, the big companies have not reported great successes in recruiting people. It's a very long process.
But they all welcome them, sir.
German or English. Well, in theory, yes. In theory, highly qualified German-speaking workers are very welcome. In practice, this is a very difficult process, and it takes a long time. And moreover, the debate has now changed from welcoming future citizens into fearing disruption of state and society and public order in this country. Well, and that has happened a week ago.
Well, Michael Stuermer, we do have to leave it there, but thank you very much for joining us from Berlin.